and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Dad, come on up.
Is this the Okay, so as you might have guessed, we're talking about respect. So, oh man, I'm so short. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Okay, so we were inspired to talk about each of the components of respect, breaking it down into RESPECT, find out what it means to us. So I know, corny. So the first letter we wanted to talk about was R, reciprocate. So a lot of people focus on the part where they have to respect someone else. Well, respect is kind of a two-way street. It's hard to respect someone that doesn't respect you back. It becomes very difficult to respect someone where they're not treating you in the same way that you want to be treated. My parents and I, we work really hard to, wait, am I not talking into it? Okay. We work really hard to meet each other on the same level of respect. One of the main points we work on is we don't lie to each other. I know that probably sounds really naive of me to think my parents don't lie to me, but they really don't lie to me. Like when I was little and Santa Claus is around, they never told me Santa Claus was real. They always said, what do you think? Do you think he's real? And I figured out he wasn't. I'm sorry to break the news to you guys, if anyone didn't know. But yeah. So, but as I got older, lying became more of a difficult thing. Like, hey, Ani, you done with your homework? Yes? And no, I'm not done. Actually, my parents, I used to think they were human lie detectors. So if I lied, they would know, like that. But I know that they sometimes can be fooled. But the guilt of lying to them, knowing that they never lie to me, really gets to me. And I know that I have to respect them in the same way that they want to be respected, so I don't lie to them back, meeting them at the same point. So you have to make an honest effort to find out about what your parents want to know from you. Reciprocate. You have to meet them where they are. They can't know how to deal with your situation if you aren't telling them what's going on. You have to take that step towards them. There's no way that they would be able to know how to talk to you. They're going to start yelling at you if you haven't explained to them why your homework wasn't done, why you have 5 late assignments. I don't know whatever is going on in your life right now, but just telling them, talking to them about it, reciprocate, meet them, talk to them. They can't treat you the way you want to be treated if you aren't giving them the material they need to know. They're trying. It may not seem like they're always trying, but they are always making that effort to reciprocate, to respect you back, even if it doesn't seem like it. Like the commandment goes, honor your father and mother. You have to honor your father and mother in order for them to honor you back. It's the unspoken commandment that your father and mother, or whoever raised you, deserve to be honored because they love you. Sounds like cliche or whatever, but they really do. And the very fact that you're sitting here today shows that they've made a lot of sacrifices for you. So you need to make sacrifices back to meet them, reciprocate, and respect each other.
Okay, so I'm Ani's dad, and so she talked about the first R in respect, reciprocate. I'm going to talk about express, E. Oftentimes it's hard to express to each other, what we're thinking about, what we're feeling about, because we're speaking different languages. I don't know the current lingo and stuff that's going on in the high school, and we're talking about people getting shipped together and stuff. I didn't know what that was about. I'm in the Navy. I don't know what that means. So I periodically get instructed on some of this stuff. So trying to express to each other, sometimes it doesn't always match up because we're speaking different languages. So we have to be understanding of each other on that. And I was thinking even back to a time when Ani was real little, probably kindergarten, first grade or something. We were all getting together in the family room. We were going to watch a movie together, movie night as a family. It was going to be fun. And she looked around, and all the seats were taken. We had some extra company. And I said, come here, you can sit in my lap. And she goes, Daddy, that ship has sailed. Yeah, so I was like, I'm like wounded, you know. But what she was really trying to express at that point was, Dad, I'm getting older, you know. It's like, all right, okay. So those are the things we have to think about, though, that she was trying to express, I'm getting older, and you can't treat me like a little kid anymore. And so we have to be open to how we are expressing to each other where we're at in our lives, what we're going through. The other part of express, the other kind of meaning is that we don't have a lot of time. Time is short. I have a few kids, and it never ceases to amaze me, how the time goes so fast. It's like, wow, you're getting older, and you're going to be in college, and you're going to be forgetting about me and out of Mahdi pretty soon. So keep in mind, time is short, and we really want to use that time well with each other.
The next point we had was S, security. I know that I can go to my parents for pretty much anything. I feel secure in that they will not disrespect me when I tell them the truth. I feel like they'll be understanding when I come to them. I know when I was little, if my parents yelled at me, I would just shut down. But more recently, we talk to each other, and there isn't yelling. We talk to each other, and we say things. We don't just talk. There's a difference between communication and talking. And I feel like security is a big part of the communication aspect, because you can't communicate with someone if you don't feel like you can trust them with what you're saying and know that they'll understand when you tell them. So one kind of example of this is my family has this thing called Amnesty Day, and on this day, you can pretty much say anything you've ever done wrong and you won't get in trouble for it. Now, they just randomly declare whatever day this is. I suspect it's probably when they think something's going on, but I don't know. Usually I don't really have anything to say on Amnesty Day, though, because I come to my parents first thing. Because I know already that they're going to be understanding. I don't really fear the punishment of what they're going to do because I know it will be fair. And I probably need to talk to them in that moment. I can't just wait around for Amnesty Day so I can get away with it. And I know that they instituted Amnesty Day so they would know what's going on and that they could help us, because they'd rather know what's going on and see us go without the punishment than have us not tell them and keep doing the thing wrong and just dig yourself deeper in that hole. They're kind of like the safety, like the rope when you're at the bottom of the well and they help you get back up. I know that if I fell down a well, I know who I'd call first, my parents, if I had my phone and there was reception. But I don't know. And yeah, they'd rather them not be in the dark because they can't help you get out of whatever you're in if they don't know what's going on. Sorry, I'm recovering from a cold. Yeah, and it's kind of reached a point where I tell my parents probably more than they'd ever really want to know about me. I tell them every little thing that goes on in my life, which you don't necessarily need to do with your parents, but just filling them in so they know what's going on. Because if little things pop up and they notice that you're stressed and it starts to accumulate, I know my mom would be like, calm down, it's okay. Just breathe and take a moment to relax, because you'll shut down. And she's noticed when I tell her over and over again something I'm worried about, she'll really help me with it. She doesn't just say, work harder, because she knows that isn't really going to help me at all. And I feel secure in telling her when I'm stressed because she'll help.
Okay, so the next letter is P for patience, and I've had medical training and learning about the brain and how it develops, and I always think it's kind of fascinating about how we're born with all our neurons, our brain cells, and as we get older, about in your age, it still hasn't fully made all the connections yet. And so at your age, we kind of perceive you guys as kind of being impulsive, kind of quick to think and stuff. Now you get to my age, those cells are just kind of dying off. Got a lot of gray hair, my brain's kind of shrinking and stuff. So, and I see some heads going, yeah, I understand now, my parents are brain damaged. Yeah. So again, it's sort of that clash of how we perceive each other. So we might think of you guys as being kind of too quick to judge or quick to act, and you might think we're kind of slow and don't get it. And so we have to be kind of understanding, so that patience with each other and how we communicate. And the other part of patience I think of is forgiveness that has to come with that. I don't know, a few months ago, Ani came back with a tattoo. It was a henna tattoo, but still it was scandalous in our family. And but just as the henna tattoo kind of faded, we kind of forgave her for getting the tattoo, because we're not big fans of tattoos. But we have to be just like the tattoo, fade away and let the bitterness go away whenever somebody has done something wrong we don't approve of.
Wait, just 1 second.
Oh, wait, it's my turn. My turn. Okay, I had the second E, which is evolve. And what I thought of, I have to take my glasses off because I'm getting old, so you are all blurry, but now I can read. I think that as a parent, I've had to learn that my relationship with my kids evolves, it changes, and as they grow, I have to change with it. And also, not all my kids are the same. So what works for one may not work for another one. And so I have to change the way I interact with each one. Although I've always tried to be honest with Ani, I know that I didn't share things with her in the same way when she was 6 to when she was 10 to now when she's 17. And her level of maturity has evolved. And so I need to then also evolve by communicating more freely with her as she gets older. So in order for respect to be mutual, I need to constantly be reevaluating our relationship and where she's at and where I'm at. With regards to not all kids being the same, I learned very early on that I couldn't deal with Ani in the same way that I dealt with her older brothers. Like she said earlier about when she got yelled at, she shut down. She did. And I could yell at her brothers and get them to do stuff. She was the opposite. And so I had to change the way I interacted with her. And I haven't always succeeded, but I have really tried to respect Ani as an individual and with unique needs and unique ways of dealing with things. And one funny story, well, it's funny for her, but not funny for her brother. One day she came and she was very upset because she hadn't gotten an A on something, and she was, oh, I got a B, and she was all upset. And I started telling her, don't worry about it. B, it's fine to get a B. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. I know you worked hard. Don't worry. And I see out of the corner of my eye, her brother is sitting there watching, and he's listening to what I'm saying. And I immediately turned to him and said, none of that applies to you. I expect A's from you. And he was like, what? Because he thought B's and C's were fine, and he didn't think he needed to work. So different rules, and it sometimes seems like that's not fair, but it's because you are all individuals, and you all have different needs, and you all approach life differently. So we as parents need to evolve and meet you where you are. And on to you. I think you're next.
So the next letter was C, change. It's a lot like evolve, but it's more the child side. A lot of you you definitely have matured over the years. No one looks at their parents the same way they did when they were 5. I know when I was 5 and my parents would yell at me, I'd run off and like cry in my room. But now, like, if they yelled at me, I'd be like, why are you yelling at me? Like, I don't understand. Can you please explain to me what's going on? I had to change. I had to understand where my parents were coming from. I had to step outside of my shoes and understand why they were talking to me the way they were. Looking back, I see that the moments that I felt my parents were being the least respectful to me were when I was being the least respectful, when I was yelling back and saying, this is all your fault. Why are you doing this to me? I would blame them for doing something like not filling out like the signature for my homework, like when I got like a test grade and they had to sign the grade. And I'd be like, why didn't you fill it out? And they said, you didn't ask me to. And I said, you should have just known. But I see now, like, that's ridiculous. How can I expect my parents to sign something I never asked them to sign? Or knowing that they needed to pick me up at a certain time and not telling them beforehand. I can't yell at them for not picking me up if I never told them, multiple times reminded them for something I needed them to take time out of their day for. I thought the world kind of revolved around me a little bit. I didn't know it at the time, but I thought that I was kind of the center of their universe, that the other 5 kids that they had were kind of just, the backseat to me. But I saw that I kind of had to rearrange my schedule to work with theirs, work with my siblings, work with all the people around me. I had to change. I had to understand that they are not there to serve me. We're there to work together to build a relationship. A relationship is founded on both of the people working together. They need to evolve as the years go on with different children, and I need to change myself in order to meet them to the level of respect that they give me. If they don't yell at me, how can I yell back at them? That's not fair to them. They've restrained themselves. I have to restrain myself. I had to change and tell them what was going on and what I needed them for, instead of waiting around for them to ask me what I needed. I had to come to them. Usually, if they're coming to you, the problem is already really big because they can see it. It's better to come right away and change. Sorry. Where was I?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. And the last letter is T, and we thought truth was really paramount to respect. And all of my kids will tell you that truth is paramount to me. Telling me a lie does not go over well, and I often tell them, if you lie, it will take a long time to gain my trust back. It doesn't take but one lie to lose my trust, and it takes a lot of telling the truth to gain it back. So telling the truth really is the way in which we as parents and you as children show the greatest respect for one another. It's not always easy to tell the truth. It's sometimes very painful and it's scary. But with the truth comes freedom, and freedom in a relationship is really important. And I will say I feel very blessed that Ani has always been very honest. If she's told some lies, she's done them well, because she really has been very honest and forthcoming, and I'm very grateful for that because it helps us in our relationship, and I have an incredible amount of respect for her.
Well, now I'm going to get a little emotional. Okay. I respect my parents very much, so they've given me every reason to respect them. Now, I came up with like 7 steps for respect for a child, but before I go over those, I'll go back over the letters of respect. So what was R? It was reciprocate. Okay, good guys. Okay, and then this is going to get harder. What was the first E? Express. Okay, that was good, good. And then S? Security. Yeah, you guys got it. Security. And then, I'm on the wrong page. And then P? Patience. Good, good. And then evolve? Oh, whoops, I just...
Gave him a freebie.
Okay, that was a freebie. And then C? Change. Nice. Okay. And then the last one, T. Okay, awesome. Okay. So, respect can be very difficult, but there are like lots of little things that build to that level of respect. So the first thing is be aware of the things your parents do for you from day to day, month to month, year to year. You just don't understand the depth of sacrifice that your parents make for you. I know sometimes I forget on a day-to-day basis the very fact that they drove me to school for, 12 years? I mean, that's not right. Yeah, 12 years. And the fact that they pay for us to go to private school, I just can't fathom doing that for someone else, maybe because I'm not a parent yet, but that's just, it's unimaginable the level that they've taken to sacrifice for you. Just knowing that it'll just change the way you look at things. Second one, recognize and respect that the fact that they have been through many more life experiences than you and can offer a great deal of knowledge about the world around you. They were teenagers once too. Time. Okay. And then 3, when at times you feel like your parents don't listen to you or don't take you seriously, take a moment to think about what you want them to know and focus on that and discuss your problems calmly. I know yelling doesn't work. And then make sure you listen to their side because that helps too. 4, remember your parents love you more than anything else in the world. Your parents or whoever is your guardian or takes care of you and have high expectations of what they want you to achieve because they believe in you probably more than you believe in yourself and want you to be at your best when you become an adult. They aren't getting on your case because they like to. They do it because they want what's best for you. And then 5, make a daily effort not to complain about having to obey your parents. So when they tell you to take out the trash, just take it out. It takes like 2 minutes. You kind of owe them a lot. 6, talk to them regularly. I mean, the biggest part about respect is you need to have a relationship in the first place to have respect. And then 7, be loving. It's just, it's just an important thing. Tell them you love them. I know that just does a lot. I know my parents love it when I tell them I love them. One time I told my mom that randomly and she asked me what I wanted from her. I told her nothing. I just wanted to tell her how much I love her. That's it.